So where do you go when you've won $85,000 worth of travel? Paradise on Earth, of course. Hi, my name is Nadine and I won the most amazing travel prize on Australian Breakfast TV. Join me as we head off on our very first international flight ever. So we made it to Brisbane on a very wet day. Feel like a bit of a drowned rat, but we made it across to the international terminal. It's very quiet. At that time of travel, we had to have a COVID test and wait for the results. After a nervous few hours, we got the all clear and waited until our midnight flight. Thank goodness for Netflix, eh? Although the prize was with Qantas, we paid to fly with Singapore Airlines due to COVID restrictions in Changi. We boarded our midnight flight across to Singapore. We had the entire row to ourselves. Winning! The 4.5-hour flight to Malé was not as comfortable. It was crowded and it was hot. But it was not long before the blue waters of the Maldives could be seen. The Maldives is a chain of islands located on the equator off the coast of India. Although the country covers a huge area, only 4% of that is land. We landed in the Valana International Airport, which is on a separate island away from the Maldivian capital. The Malé airport was an interesting place for someone who had never been out of Australia. We were met by a bus and taken to the terminal where there were security guards with guns. I didn't feel in danger in any way. It was just something different to see. We showed our paperwork and were bustled through to a resort reception where we were taken to the Maldivian airport lounge. After a quick coffee, we boarded the short 45-minute flight across to Kooddoo. When we landed, we went through another quick security check and Jay's lighter was taken from him. Being a smoker, he was horrified. But we were met by a lovely gentleman who took our luggage, fixed Jay up with a new lighter, and we boarded the golf buggy for a quick trip across the island to the resort where we were met with the warmest greeting ever. What a lovely greeting! Mercure is part of the Accor group, so our accommodation was taken care of by the prize. Be sure to watch to the end of the video to see how much of that prize I used. Wow. Oh, wow. Welcome to Sunset Bungalow 511. The air-conditioned room was beautiful with a large bed and plenty of storage. Above the bed was a map reminding you of your location in paradise. The White Hutch was an all-inclusive bar that was replenished daily. There were chairs situated over a glass-bottom floor so we could watch the fish swimming under the bungalow. Through the sheer curtains you could see the promise of the beautiful water. But first, let's show you the bathroom. Stepping into the spacious bathroom, the luxury continued with fresh flowers on a double basin, gorgeous toiletries, a rain shower, day bed and fluffy robes. There was also a separate toilet. Stepping outside is another rain shower and bathtub in complete privacy. The Mercure Maldives is an adults-only, all-inclusive resort with 70 villas, some over water and some on the beach. From our sunset villa you could walk straight into the lagoon. All villas have access to the gorgeous clear waters, which include snorkeling gear, paddleboards and kayaks. We spent a lot of time in the water, as you'll soon see. As we watched the sun set on our very first day in the Maldives, we're excited about what we could do tomorrow. Our first morning in the Maldives and I was so excited to go swimming straight after breakfast. You can see the myriad of life that was under our bungalow. The water was a little cloudy as I'd stirred it up when I hopped in. And I'm not the most confident of swimmers, but it wasn't long before I was heading out into the waters of the open lagoon. Admittedly, I did keep popping my head up to see how far I had swum. I'm not sure what the blackfish were, but there were plenty of them around. and I loved seeing the little dory-like fish in the middle of them. Returning to the bungalow after a swim, you'd find different fish each time, but always beautiful. After a swim, it was nice to wash off in the outdoor shower. The food at the resort was delicious, with something for everyone and a choice of 2 restaurants and the pool bar. The Alita restaurant was a buffet where the menus changed nightly. Food was locally sourced or fresh from the garden on the island, and the staff treated you like family. It was lovely to learn about their lives too. The staff are proud of their home and the resort, and it is also here that I learnt the correct pronunciation, Maldives. We ate at the Overwater Italian Vista restaurant twice, and I have to say that it is still one of my favourite meals ever. And I've since been to Italy, but that's a spoiler alert for a future video. The food was fresh, flavoursome and aromatic. There was also something for those people looking for a little bit extra, including floating food trays and romantic dinners on the beach. Being an all-inclusive resort, there are unlimited beverages throughout the day. Jay and I are not big drinkers, but it was nice to have the option. He stuck to his coffee, and I mostly had water, juice, and the occasional cocktail. Depending on your length of stay, there are various offers to include other resort activities, such as the spa, jet ski, sunset fishing, snorkeling and dolphin excursions, just to name a few. I chose to have a luxurious spa experience, and like the best Italian restaurant, I can truly say this was the best massage I've ever had. Jay chose to ride a jet ski. Big kid that he is, he loved it. After a safety briefing, he was off, while I watched with my friend, the crab. The excursion I was most excited about was visiting the dolphins, and it didn't disappoint. The little boat took us out from the turquoise of the lagoon to the deep blue open water, where we could see the dolphins playing in the distance. Oh! Wow! Oh! Pretty soon the dolphins were swimming beside us. I'm not ashamed to admit I cried. They were absolutely beautiful. Oh, look at them all. Wow. The dolphins came right up to us and swam alongside, so close that I could feel their spray. Spinner dolphins live in large pods, and I was so ecstatic to see them as they jumped and swam. They were swimming away when a crew member asked if my camera was waterproof, and then this happened. Before you arrive, make sure you book this excursion as it fills up quickly. It was such a wonderful experience. As soon as we got back to the bungalow, we were straight back into the beautiful water. I was still too nervous to go all the way to the edge of the lagoon, but those that did said it was absolutely beautiful, with a range of colourful fish, reef sharks, turtles and rays. One day while we were swimming, Jay tapped the back of my leg. He found it hilarious. Me, not so much. Another excursion we chose to go on was snorkeling to a deserted island. It was more like a sandbar really, but hey, deserted island sounds way cooler in the brochures. As mentioned, I'm not a confident swimmer and Jay is very wary of sharks. But this holiday was once in a lifetime, so we did it. The same little boat that took us to see the dolphins took us to a magical place where the idea was to float along the edge of a reef, just like in Finding Nemo. There was an abundance of beautiful corals and marine life, with some people saying they saw turtles. I followed the wrong set of flippers and got to the sandbar a little too quickly. But it was still an amazing experience snorkeling across the reef. It's one that I'd highly recommend. It wasn't long until we reached the sandbar. It was remote, relaxing, beautiful. We had a cold drink and chilled. Some swam, some sunbaked. I watched the Instagrammers posing for that hashtag photo. The Aussie in me was having a little chuckle thinking of our local comedian Celeste Barber, who has her own interpretations of those hashtags. Love her. After a wonderful day spent on the sandbar, it was time to hop back in the water and swim towards the boat. It was a great experience and I highly recommend the snorkeling excursion from Kooddoo. Another wonderful day in the Maldives and another beautiful sunset. It's our second last day in the Maldives and I couldn't wait to get in the water after breakfast. I think today was the clearest day of all. I never did stop checking how far away I was from the bungalow. I've always got a camera in my hand. This time Jay took the Osmo action and went for a snorkel. Check out from his point of view. Jay handed the camera back to me and I continued to float under the bungalow. All of a sudden I was being hit by all these fish. And then a reef shark swam right beside me. It's pretty cool. When we weren't swimming, we just sat on the patio and enjoyed the view. Why wouldn't you with a view like that? It was just gorgeous. We fit so much into the 5 days that we were there at the Maldives. We could have easily stayed longer. I took so many photos of the water as it seemed to reflect differently depending on the sunlight and time of day. It was a beautiful turquoise that appeared blue with the changing of the tides. I also have hours and hours of footage, which was hard to condense into a short video. If swimming's not your thing, there were plenty of on-land activities, including tennis, futsal and beach volleyball, also pool, darts and karaoke. There were cooking classes and towel art. In the evenings there was karaoke, outdoor movie nights or performances of authentic Maldivian music. You can experience as much or as little as you want, or do what we did and just enjoy the sunset and peace and quiet that Kooddoo offered. Kooddoo, you saved the best sunset for our last night here in paradise. We've made some beautiful memories, met some interesting people, including a man who had saved for 40 years to bring his family here. We are so grateful to have been given the opportunity to spend 5 days in one of the most beautiful places on earth. Our time in the Maldives came to an end all too soon. We were picked up in the little golf cart and said goodbye to our beautiful room and the lovely lagoon one last time. We thoroughly enjoyed our time at this resort. The facilities, the food, the people, all were wonderful. And on a funny note, Jay asked if anyone had accidentally driven off the edge of the walkway in one of these golf carts. And apparently, no. I'm tickled pink that you could join us. Please like and subscribe for further videos. And don't forget to check out the running tally at the end of this video to see how much we've spent of the prize. See you next time.